You're not just an alumni blog, though. You're more. We got more to talk about. Hey, this isn't another alumni blog, but this is. I don't want to call it more special because any other alumni would be like, what? But there is something special about this blog, and it is that Christina is a former student who's actually experienced something similar to what we've had in our lives, and that anybody who read Involuntary Joy would have read about. And so, but I'm going to let her tell that story. And look who she has with her. This is Quentin. What have you been doing since Waldorf?
I have been doing marketing for banks, is what I did. My last job, I became a marketing officer for TIB Bank in Naples, Florida. And by the time I was done, I had 26 locations that I did marketing for.
And you were the person in charge.
I was. Yep.
And she, as the person in charge, see, some of this is educational for freshmen too. So as the person in charge, that meant Christina, I'm guessing, worked with the CEO.
I did, yep. And all the executive vice presidents and HR, and worked very closely with just making sure the bank, we marketed properly and advertised properly. And
Good for you. And I bet you did great.
I did. I had friends down there who went to school down in Florida, and I would be writing radio scripts and TV things and doing all this stuff, and they said, how do you know how to do that? I said, what do you mean? I said, I learned that in school. And they said, oh, we read about it in a textbook. Yeah, I've always thought Waldorf was great, and that I had good education there, but it really made me appreciate it even more after.
Good, because we like to get you ready. And we always say in the classroom that there's so much that we can't teach that you have to just learn it. And I don't think people understand what that means until you're out there.
Right.
And I remember running into you in Kohl's one time a few years ago when you were back from Florida, and that you were complimentary then. You're like, oh, we're doing everything that we've talked about in class. So that was
absolutely.
Neat. But that was before Quentin.
Yes.
And then you took some time to do the mommy track. Mm-hmm. And you had a journey on the mommy track.
I did.
You had a hard time getting there.
Well, I decided I needed to stay home and be a mom because that's just where my journey needed to go next. And so I stayed home with Quentin for the first 3 months, and then got a little bored because it's hard to go from being professional to sitting at home being a mom.
Well, not only that, you had a hard time getting a baby.
Yes.
So, yeah, it makes sense that you'd want it to be full-on mom.
Yes. So I decided I would go work 2 days a week for, and actually it was a spa and weight loss center and a doctor's office. So it was a totally different...
A health thing.
Yes. And I used to do financials, so it was kind of interesting to switch that, which was fun. And I did that for a while, and then we put Quentin into a babysitter that we thought was going to work out, and had some mishaps along the way, and led us on another journey.
And we can't tell too much because there's actually a trial connected with that. But let's suffice it to say that Quentin had some hospital time. Everybody's so different, but some things, that would be helpful for anybody who's watching this. As a mom, don't you think we can give the advice of, if you think something's wrong, it's wrong.
Yes, yep.
And it's okay not to worry about hurting people's feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Because
ultimately what matters is you and your child.
Yeah.
And you're their voice, so you need to, if you feel it's wrong, it's wrong.
And in your story, what I was connecting with is what we did. We didn't want to offend anybody. And then, and if something's not right, it's just not right. People are just a composite of what their experiences are, and we don't really fully know what that is always.
Right.
And we give people the benefit of the doubt that they're equipped and ready and prepared, and we go, like, who would do that to a baby? Mm-hmm. And... yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. So what's it been like to move back to Iowa?
It's been great, actually. I needed to come back. I didn't feel safe.
Nothing against Florida.
No.
But
Florida's beautiful, and it was a great place to really get into that professional world and find out who I was as a person. Get away from my family, get away from my roots, because you really grow when you're alone.
And you had a fantastic career.
I did.
You are having a fantastic career. She's not done yet.
No.
She's not done yet.
But yes, I did. I loved the experience I got there, and it's like nothing I could ever have gotten anywhere else. So for that reason, it was perfect. I needed to be there, and it was great. And there's days that I really miss it, but I wouldn't trade anything for what I have now.
Coming back to Iowa just feels better. It feels safe.
It feels safe right now. And the other thing, I wanted Quentin to grow up the way I grew up. I wanted him to experience the seasons, not read about it in a book. And I wanted him to just have this. I hate to say this, but it's just so simplistic here. In Florida, it was crazy. It was busy. It was go, 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 go. And it was kind of a fantasy world. You see Bentleys and Rolls Royces and Mercedes and Lexus driving down the street, and it's like...
You have a high-powered career that's exciting.
Yeah, you just don't see that stuff here, and it's nice.
Well, you can see it. It's just when you see it, you're like, well, who's driving that?
Yeah, exactly. It's different, and I don't know. I didn't want Quentin to grow up thinking that was the norm.
Right.
You know, I wanted him to know what real life was like, you know, and
Well,
so,
that's real life for some people, too.
for some people,
For some
yeah.
people, it's real life.
But for me, I wanted him to experience what I experienced as a child. I wanted him to play kick the can in the neighborhood,
Right.
you know, and
to not be afraid of walking down the street.
Yes.
To plan what it's like to go out.
yeah, I mean, we went to a parade the other day, and there was a bunch of tractors, and people were laughing at it, and I said, you know what? As silly as this sounds, I need those tractors right now. That's where I am at my life. In my life.
Quentin just had a doctor's appointment yesterday, and coincidentally, it's the same doctor that we use for Strauss that we've loved, you know, since we've had her. And so I think you're in excellent hands.
I do.
And yeah, she's gonna take good care of you. And therapy is not such a bad thing.
No.
Therapy, especially at this age, therapy is playing.
Yeah.
And you know, the sooner you can get on it and fix things now. But I have enjoyed meeting him. I got to hold him all through lunch, and I still have the ability to hold a child and eat at the same time. I found this the other day. I don't even know if you remember. I was like going through some things, and you signed this. You were nice and gave it to me for being a nice. It's the only teacher gift I've gotten as a college professor.
Oh my goodness.
And Christina gave it to me. See, this shows that you're an excellent public relations person. So she, as a student, I don't know, let me see. It's teachers like you that make a difference. Thanks for all you've done for me and for our class. You've helped us prepare for the future.
Aww.
How nice of you. And so I have kept it. And it says from the PR skills class, it was Christina that did it. I knew. It's all kind of you. And I love hearing when students have fantastic careers. You had a fantastic career.
I really did. It was a lot of fun. I got to do a lot of
Don't say did as if it's over, because you're
No.
still...
But it's done with that particular venture.
Right.
Now I'm on to my next, and I wish them more than the best, because they're an amazing company and they were awesome to work for. And I got really great experience and exposure to things that, you know.
She got to ride the company jet.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember that. At Color Child, I got flown up by Better Homes and Gardens for a Color Child visit up there. And we got picked up by a limousine. And you're like, you have those moments where you're like, seriously, is this happening to me?
And you've got your pretty suit on with your whatever hot pink briefcase.
Well, I never had I can see you with a hot pink briefcase. Joy never had a hot pink briefcase, no. But yeah, and you're bopping around and you want to go, are people noticing that I'm getting to do these fun things for my job? So,
it is. It's a lot of fun. And I remember you telling those stories in class.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Was it helpful to have those stories
It
told in
was
class?
helpful, yeah. And then I remember sitting there going, okay, now I'm doing this. I just remember hearing about it.
Yeah.
So it was...
Yeah, what's next, Christina, do you think, for us?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out that too, what I want to be when I grow up now.
Oh, it's constant. What am I going to be when I grow up?
I don't think that ever changes.
No.
Yeah.
But just keep using your experiences to figure out, well, what can we do now?
Right,
Exactly. With our understanding. And the one thing we'll both agree on, and Quentin's been a champ, so we'll let him go, but the one thing that if you didn't hear us say it earlier, moms, if you think something's wrong, something is. So,
absolutely.
No,
trust your instincts. The mother instinct is absolutely correct.
And dad, we should probably dads too.
Yeah.
Mark had an instinct too. So dads too. If something's wrong, it probably is. Deal with it then. Don't, because your child's too young. Your child can't tell you.
Right.
We're gonna go. We're gonna say
Say
bye.
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 Quentin's tired.
Bye-bye.
It's an exciting journey out there, just waiting to be discovered.